Okay, Otakon 2016 just finally came to an end. The last one in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So how many Otakons is it for you now, Justin?
Me? Oh, wow. I'm trying to think if I got a number. It's over 10. It's over 10. I've been going since high school.
I have no idea
Yeah,
how many Otakons has been
we've
for me
lost
at this
count.
point. I have just at least maybe 8 or 10.
I know it's 10 for me, but I know only that because I counted my badges before, and I hit the 10-year anniversary mark on its last year in Baltimore.
See, I've tried to save all my badges over the years, but I know I've lost a couple since I moved in.
I've saved my badges. I just have them in a drawer somewhere, so I haven't counted them or anything.
I keep them all hung up.
Yeah.
So, did you guys have a good con?
Good con.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good con.
It's like I thought this
Hot,
was.
Yeah.
but good.
We've had some heat waves before for Otakon. I do think this one was. I don't know. It felt like one of the worst.
There was just something oppressively bad about it. I can't put my finger on it, but it was...
And I mean, the humidity, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have seen the scene in Metal Gear Solid 4 where Solid Snake has to go through the microwave to get to the Arsenal Gear core. And it's like, it felt like that. I mean, it's like a slap to the face every time I had to walk outside.
Yep.
Yeah, it did feel like that. It was bad.
Yeah, I normally walk around, take more videos, and get more pictures and stuff, but frankly, I just didn't want to walk around. I just wanted to sit in place cool and watch a panel or watch some anime.
Mm-hmm. I probably watched a lot more anime this year than I have in the past ones, just because I didn't want to go outside for anything.
And the bad thing is, there's lost more reason to go outside because, well, they ended up shutting down the fountain.
Yeah.
Where they had several photo shoots for years. I know they did.
I love that fountain.
I mean, they just started tearing it down. I wish they would have just waited 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
The only time I voluntarily went outside was when they had the line for the MV contest, and they had to have it outside.
Ooh.
Because there were so many people in that lobby area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I regretted actually going there early because honestly I probably could have gotten there late and I would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which would have been the back. But the back's typically better anyway.
Yeah.
So Justin, what was your favorite thing from this con?
Favorite thing from this con? I had a few. There were a few good ones. Like the Aniplex panel was kind of fun. The Robotech Look to the Future was really interesting. I'm planning a whole video of my own on it. So, but yeah, that was good. And there were a few honestly, overall, I think this one for me, because I've been away for so many years, just the environment of the convention itself and getting back into anime was wonderful for me. So
yeah, I felt there was it was good air in the con. I mean, it was a very positive. I mean, everyone seemed to be having a good time. I didn't hear people complaining about lines. I mean, no really huge complaints.
Yeah.
From at least from people I heard, walking around the convention, everyone seemed to really enjoy themselves.
Yeah, heard a few secondhand complaints about hallways clogging up, but that was minor.
Yeah. What was probably your least favorite thing about the con?
Oh, for me, least favorite thing of all the things I went to, probably that Women of Robotech panel I went to at the beginning. But I mean, that was a fan-done thing, so it wasn't really professional, but it had a lot of hiccups. At one point, they couldn't get the projector to work, so he decided he was just going to turn the laptop around. I want the world to think about that.
Which panel room was this in?
What was that? That was panel 6?
That's a pretty big panel room.
Yeah.
Was it fairly full?
No.
I was seeing. I mean, would you have been able to see anything on the screen?
No, not really. Not unless you were up at the very front row, and it didn't look like anybody was willing to go up there.
I'd say that definitely caused some trouble right there.
Yeah. But, I mean, eventually they did get it working and everything. But then he ended up skipping a large portion of the presentation they wanted to do because they were so late because they were struggling to get the projector working.
Did you have any surprise panels or shows where it's I didn't think this was going to be good, but I really ended up enjoying it?
for Konami was surprisingly good. Like, I thought it was going to be kind of like, I really thought it was going to end up being, because I had just come from the Women of Robotech panel going into the Requiem for Konami, and I was kind of expecting the same thing. I was kind of expecting it, because it was a fan-done panel. I was expecting it to be less professional and a little shoddy, but no, I think he actually put together a really good presentation, and it was fun, and it was upbeat. For the subject matter, and how Konami has kind of ruined itself, he kept the presentation upbeat and more of a focus on, let's celebrate what they used to be, and how good it used to be. So I enjoyed that. That was surprisingly good.
Kind of like, Dad's a kind of a drunk now, but let's remember what he used to be when he was sober.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Dad's abusive and drunk now, and he's probably going to jail, but let's look back at the good times, like when he took us to the park that one time and didn't throw us in the pool.
So next year, we move to the DC Convention Center. Do you think you'll go?
I don't know yet. I would like to go, but right now I'm thinking by that point I might want to just be a little bit more frugal with finances and maybe like hold off and wait and hear how it is at the DC Convention Center before I start going. But I don't know. I'll probably make up my mind a little bit more decisively as we get closer to then.
But overall, how would you, let's say out of 10, how would you rate this con? 1 out of 10.
This con was, I don't know, maybe like, I put it about a solid 8.5, somewhere there, because it was still fun. It was fun. Like, nothing was like jump out amazing like in past cons I've been to, but at the same time there weren't a lot of hiccups. There wasn't a lot of like waiting in line for hours only to find out that something's been closed, which has happened in the past. So yeah, I mean, there wasn't a lot of stuff to hugely disappoint, and there was enough to keep it enjoyable and fun. So, yeah.
Hey, good to hear. Okay, Steve, what was your favorite thing of the con?
Okay, my favorite thing. Well, I liked a lot of stuff. I like the AMV contest. I actually went to this really cool panel with this couple who wrote a comic book together called Adam and Comfort, and they did we did build a hero, we did build a supervillain. The hero we ended up making was this Victorian scientist / demon summoner who was trying to stop Cthulhu from controlling people with milk. And
did you see the villain for that world was the milkman?
Yeah,
a child milkman at
yeah,
that.
And when we
Milk
actually
child.
then in the second panel when we came up with a villain, we came up with another child who was a mafioso who ran a mafioso thing, and he had no legs and used blood magic, and he got around on a walker. But yeah, it was crazy.
Which is still difficult with having no legs.
Yes. But yeah, it was crazy. But I think the thing I flat out liked the most for this con, if I'm being honest, was getting my badge in the mail and not having to stand in line Thursday in the blazing heat.
Which I heard this was like they fixed, which it seems I think a lot of people also had their badges mailed, because I heard there was no line this Thursday, which kind of upset me because we already got in the mail, so it was no big deal. But I mean, last couple of years the Thursday has been a mess.
I was like really grateful for that this year just because it was hot and I did not want to be outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my flat out favorite.
What was your least favorite thing about this con?
Least favorite thing? Let's see. Standing in line for the AMV contest outside was the worst part of the thing. But if I mean, like, the other thing was I had a lot of lulls where there just wasn't much I wanted to see, and that was a little off-putting at times. But and some of the animes, there was a lot of animes that I saw that were really good, but there was also a lot of them that, this wasn't that great. But
was there any sleeper hits for you, like a panel or a show that you didn't think was going to be good, but ended up blowing you away?
Under the Dog panel, I had no expectation for this. I saw you kickstarted it, and I saw the clip that you posted. I'm just like, this just looks like Ghost in the Shell. It's like I don't need another Ghost in the Shell. And then we went to go see it, and I was expecting Ghost in the Shell. I got Gunslinger Girls with Monsters, and that was kind of amazing. So yeah, that was the breakout. The other thing is, like, we watched this one thing called Absolute Duo, which I was expecting to be moe bullshit, but it was moe bullshit, but it was actually fairly well done moe bullshit, which is refreshing. Like, they kind of, like, skated near the same tropes, but they kind of also did interesting things with it. Like, you put it one of the best ways, Justin, they had a misunderstanding, a sexual misunderstanding, but they immediately resolve it. And you never see that.
Yeah,
it's always dragged out through the entire series, typically.
Yeah. No, they immediately talk it out. It was great.
Yeah.
So next year we move from Baltimore to the DC Convention Center. Do you think you'll be going?
The plan is right now not to go. I don't really I need to like watch my finances for next year and stuff. What I think's actually going to happen is that I'm going to say I'm not going to go, and you're going to go say you're going to go by yourself, and then as it gets closer, you're going to realize, oh, I do want to save more money so I can spend more things, and I could just invite Steve. He can sleep on the floor or something. I could probably talk him into doing this, and just like, and then I'll actually end up going with you. But the plan is...
I can't say you're not wrong, and that's me a little bit.
It's just like, this is what I say is going to happen. This is what's probably actually going to happen.
God, I hope for that good tax return. That's all I'm hoping.
The closer we get to Otakon, the more I'm going to be like, well, maybe I do want to go this year, because I went last year. My finances aren't that bad. I could probably take a hit. But yeah, that's my answer to that.
Okay. 1 out of 10, how would you rate this con?
I think this is a solid 7, like above average. There's things that like could have been, there were there's some things that I would like to see more of. I would like to see more animes that I hadn't seen before. A lot of them were just like I either seen the anime already, or just like I didn't see the anime or it wasn't that great. But that's kind of hit or miss with any con.
Yeah.
But like everything else, I thought was fine. Like one of the panels I did want to go to, H.P. Lovecraft, an anime in H.P. Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was canceled, which was disappointing. But that's typically par for the course. Just like when you go to a con, something you want to go see is going to get canceled right off the bat. Mm-hmm. People kept winning People kept doing raffles, and I see this at every single con. It's like people will go into the raffles, they will leave, and if you leave, you have just won that raffle. Every single time. It's like 4 or 5 people will get called who win the raffle who don't show up because they already left. It's amazing how that happens.
Yeah.
That was one more good thing that I liked. Was I got to see Code Geass Aikido. Aikido the Exile was really good. I had forgotten all about it, so I need to actually look that up now. But yeah, that's me.
Your turn to be here, right?
Alright, Jordan. What did you like about Otakon this year? What was your favorite thing?
I gotta say, my favorite thing, much like you, Under the Dog, because I had heard good things about it. I kickstarted it, and I got the download for it. But I decided that, they said they're going to premiere it at Otakon. It's like, I want to see it for the first time with a large group of people. And even though I was a little disappointed to hear that they're pretty much, the chances of this being continued is extremely slim. There's pretty much no chance of us getting more episodes. What I did see was amazing. It's like they pretty much spent, a 3-episode budget on 1 episode, but that episode was amazing, and I absolutely loved it.
That's your probably. You know what was actually one of the most amazing parts of that anime that was just completely glossed over for the most part was the fact that they had American soldiers in that anime that spoke English, and it wasn't broken at all.
Yeah, it was perfect English.
I kept slipping in and out and thinking that was dumb.
It was Japanese and subtitled, but all the American language, with the U.S. soldiers, was all in perfect English.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, that was just really amazing.
Apparently, one of the guys knew an U.S. Marine that was stationed in Japan and actually went to him and says, is this correct?
That's good.
That's nice. Alright, so what was the worst part of your Otakon trip? It was me, wasn't it?
where I was angry that because you guys, I missed closing ceremonies, you didn't get my texts. The worst thing for me was it was just not even Otakon's fault. It was just the heat. And it was just like, it really sapped my energy, this con. I really did not have, I usually walk around, take more pictures and videos and everything, and I just didn't have the energy for that. You know, I basically, it's like, I walked, from one building to the other, and it's like, it was just so freaking hot. It's like, I'm just going to go sit here in this panel room and chill here for a little while. Yeah. It was just like, it's not really, I can't even really blame Otakon for it. But that was pretty much my biggest complaint this weekend.
Yeah. What was the nicest surprise of this weekend? Where just like you just got a nice surprise.
Japan loves Evangelion way too much. Because I knew that as old as Evangelion is, like, I was always been a little bit surprised, but like, well, I mean, they're really on it. It's funny how there's always still merchandise for it. I didn't realize the extent of the merchandise. Like, I wasn't aware that a single pachinko machine has made more money than all the Eva rebuild movies, which almost doesn't really surprise me that much, just because, well, the third one was shit. I don't care what anyone says.
Even the director admitted it was crap.
Yeah. And it's like, he's like, after this, we don't. It's like, I don't want it anymore. It's like, well, I'm upset that you were left it with such a hanging ending and not explaining anything. But it was so bad that I almost don't want you to make another one.
I thought it was hilarious.
Well, apparently after doing Godzilla Resurgence, or whatever Shin Godzilla is the actual official title, apparently after doing that he feels re-energized and is coming back to Eva. So.
Yeah. But is it in the right way?
I don't know.
We'll find out. I can be cautiously optimistic.
The thing is, it was, like, from what I understand, it was supposed to be there's supposed to be 3 episodes, and then they extended it out of nowhere. So that probably would stress them the fuck out.
I think it's just like they realized they couldn't fit everything in that time frame.
All right. What was your overall impression? What your 1 out of 10? 1 out of 10.
I give it a solid 8 because one thing is I enjoyed everything I went to, but with the exception of really Under the Dog, there wasn't anything that really blew me away. Like, I will remember this forever. Although I will say this, I did enjoy the Charlotte dub premiere.
Yeah.
That energized me for that series.
Those bloopers really made it worth it, because the bloopers are kind of amazing.
I ended up going ahead and buying the first volume so I can go ahead and get the autograph from the the producer and director and the 2 voice actors, which I think the English dub really nailed the characters. So I give a solid 8 out of 10.
Cool. Will you be going to Otakon next year?
That's the thing is, I haven't missed Otakon for 10 years. I'm at the point now where it's like, I don't think I can miss it. Like, I think it's the only, I've pretty much, I used to go to 2-3 cons a year. It's now down to 1. So it's like, I gotta go to at least 1, and Otakon's pretty much that con.
It is the best con, I feel. Like,
for me. It's just like, cause everything else is just too far away. It's just, I'm not looking forward to relearning a new area. Like, I know how to drive to the hotel, the convention center. I know our routines, front and back. Now I gotta readjust. That's gonna take some getting used to.
I hate change.
Yeah. Hey, well, I think that's our 2016 AfterCon report.
Hopefully.
I will at least have one for next year, hopefully, as long as nothing serious happens. That's all, everyone. Goodbye. Just hit the red button.